Three news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, a Chinese foreign minister was in Ertiria yesterday. A joint statement has been issued by the Chinese and Ertian foreign ministers. Secondly, Debre Tshion has appeared on CNN. CNN program host asked several tough questions, especially about the future of Tigray, about the reason of the withdrawal of Tigray forces. We'll have a look at Debre Tshion's interview. And lastly, General Verede last night made some claims, two important claims we'll try to analyze. Firstly, our Chinese foreign minister was in Ertiria yesterday. He met with Ertian foreign minister and Isaias Afwerki, president of Ertiria too. A joint statement has also been issued. No mention of any regional issue in this joint statement. The statement says that China and Ertiria will keep on strengthening their strategic partnership. China is only interested in promoting its economic interests wherever it goes, and its economic interests are its strategic interests. No mention of any regional issues like Tigray or other regional issues. That is how China operates, viewers, that it never issues statements about human rights situation in a country. While US Embassy in Ertiria is urging Eritrean government to release prisoners who have been in prison for years. Political prisoners mostly. China is silent. China is just interested in building its strategic partnership, in promoting its economic interests, and in selling its weapons. That is how big powers operate. So while Ertiria has been sidelined by the US and the EU because it's under sanctions. EU has imposed sanctions on Ertiria. US did the same, but China is strengthening its economic relationship with Ertiria. Secondly, viewers, Debre Tshion Tigray president of TPLF, appeared on CNN a few hours ago. He was asked several tough questions. One question was asked more than once. What would be the future of Tigray? Will Tigray declare independence or not? He tried to evade this question. And for most part of his interview, he did not confirm that Tigray was considering independence. He only said cessation of hostilities, then all stakeholders sit at the table and decide about the future of the country. He did not confirm that Tigray was considering independence. He said this process of secession, it is a long process. Before that, things should settle. There should be ceasefire, cessation of hostilities, dialogue. Then the next options could be considered. And he said independence is one of the options. We saw an article written by Sadkan a few days ago. And in that article, he said Tigray wanted to be part of Ethiopia. I think Debre Tshion is saying the same, though the host tried to ask this question again and again. But right now, Tigray's policy is that it wants to remain part of Ethiopia. Because the day Tigray announced independence, it would lose the support, diplomatic support of international community. A counter narrative will be launched by Ethiopian government that this decision is against territorial sovereignty of Ethiopia. And that is how Tigray leaders are not announcing independence so far. Secondly, he talked about the withdrawal of Tigray forces from Amhara Afar. He said uh, issue was political between Tigray and federal government. Issue should have been resolved politically. So that is why Tigray forces retreated towards Tigray to give peace a chance. Here I would disagree. Issue was political, but it turned into an armed conflict, and Tigray forces were forced to withdraw. They suffered military setbacks there. If they were in a position to advance to Addis Ababa, they would have gone there, but they could not. A few snippets of the interview for you at the end of my video. Lastly was General Varede of Tigray Central Command in an interview last night made some claims. In the previous video, I told you about TDF's intention to open a major front, which could be Volkait, Ertiria, other fronts. He talked about two other main things. Firstly, he said that TDF's military capabilities were intact, but ENDF had suffered major losses. And secondly, he said that Ethiopian government forces were trying to enter Tigray. TDF withdrew, it was forced to withdraw from Amhara Afar after suffering mainly human losses. I've been saying that that TDF's military capabilities are largely intact. If you compare today's TDF and June 2021's TDF, they have suffered losses mainly in terms of manpower. ENDF suffered losses too, but they keep on recovering those losses too. They keep on buying weapons. They keep on making recruitments. They have support of regional forces as well. Regional forces played a huge role in recent months. Then drones came to the help of Ethiopian National Defense Force. ENDF as an institution has been weakened, no doubt about that, because Tigrayans constituted major part of their ranks. So it will take some time for ENDF to recover and to recover from the losses they have suffered. But they are in the process of reorganization. They have time. So in the meanwhile, they are reorganizing, recruiting, regrouping. You cannot completely eliminate a force in this war. They'll keep on recruiting new fighters. They'll try to buy weapons or acquire weapons however they can. The war will go on. Only solution is talks. And lastly, where they said that government forces were trying to enter Tigray, but they could not. He referred to Ertiria front and Vaja front. I don't think that government forces are trying to enter Tigray. No. They did try to capture Alamata, then they announced suspension of military operations. We have not seen a large-scale attack on Tigray by ENDF, by Afar forces, by Amhara forces. Fighting is going on some fronts, but that fighting cannot be labeled as all-out operation against Tigray. I do not agree with General Varede here. ENDF and regional forces, they have stopped their military operations. Fighting is on border areas. They are not trying to launch a full-scale invasion of Tigray. Thank you for watching.
Final question, sir. Can you definitely rule out that if a ceasefire was to happen, that Tigray will definitely not try to seek independence?
As I said, independence cannot come immediately. As you know, in our constitution, we have a referendum. We have a right to secede, but there is a process, a long process. You have to engage the people. You have to engage all the political groups. You have to engage many others. So that's an outcome. It cannot be an immediate kind of result. The immediate one is this cessation of hostilities and then negotiate ceasefire. We have to go to dialogue. It takes a long time. So I will not say there will be an outcome of secession immediately.
Okay, but it is a possibility. It is a possibility that eventually Tigray would seek independence and try to break away from the rest of Ethiopia. That is what you're saying. It is a possibility.
Well, I don't want to to guess. As I said, at the end of the process, that will come later on. It can be independence, or it can stay in federalism, or there are many options. So it's not just one.
Okay.
People have to decide. It's not me or my party or my government.